Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schneet, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to be talking about an early 80s British mod band by the name of Squire. Now, back in 1978, I was really into the Jam, and then by 1979, I started hearing about this mod scene that the Jam were supposedly the leaders of. Then I discovered the Chords, who sound kind of like the Jam, the Jolt, who sound kind of like the Jam, Purple Hearts were pretty good, Secret Affair I loved. They were like guitar pop meets Northern Soul, great band. The Lambrettas, their debut album, Beat Boys in the Jet Age, is one of my favorite albums ever. But one of the most overlooked bands of that period is Squire, a band led by singer, songwriter, guitar player Anthony Maynell. Now, absolutely incredible body of work. It was difficult to get a hold of back then because it was chiefly indie releases. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put it in some kind of order here. We're going to actually start with the latest release because it features the earliest material. And this is a CD called Get Ready to Go. And what this is a wonderful collection of songs that shows you how the band grew from being a couple brothers, Anthony and his brother Kevin, recording songs on a 4-track recorder in their bedroom, and then actually builds up into the very first single, Get Ready to Go. So this shows you how they evolved over time and became the band that we now know as Squire. It's fascinating. There's a lot of great songs on here that have never been released anywhere else. Just a great collection of unreleased songs and recordings. Now, Squire, they were releasing great singles, but they would also release the occasional album, including hits from 3,000 years ago, which was actually credited to Anthony Maynell and Squire. And this is actually a great album. I'm not 100% sure that they went into the studio and recorded this as an album, or if they just gathered together some really great studio recordings and put it out. But it is really a great collection. It's had a couple different covers. Of course, this is the one that the CD has. The actual album came out in 1981, and it's just fantastic, great songs. They're definitely mod, but there's also jangly guitars. There's hints of the Who, hints of the Beatles, hints of the Kinks, and just really fantastic. If you love guitar pop, you're definitely going to want to check this out. Now, their next album came out in 1982, and it's called Something Old, Something New, Something Borrowed, the official Squire fan club album. And originally, I believe this contained like a lot more live and kind of weird recordings, but the CD has songs that at that point were not yet released, and some great classic songs. And on the CD, they've added live material. This is yet another must-have if you start getting into Squire, because there's definitely material on this that you need to have in your collection. Like I said, if you're into new wave, power pop, even punk, because they had that energy, and they're just really a fantastic band. But they had been working on an album, and that album came out in 1983, and it was called Get Smart. And holy cow, this is a pop lover's delight. It's got Jangle Pop, it's got horn-fueled pop, it's got Baroque pop, it's got power pop, it's got mod, it's got everything you want in a pop album. Yeah, sure, you can call it mod because that's kind of what they are, but you can also file this under power pop. You can file it under Jangle Pop. It is just incredible. So many great songs on this that it's hard to single out. Jessamine, Every Trick in the Book of Love, Take a Look. God, it is so absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite albums of the era, and it's one that when this came out on CD, I fell on the floor, wrapped myself in a blanket, and snuggled with it for hours. It's just so fantastic. Now, in 1984, they released an EP called September Girls. And what it was basically a few originals and a few covers, including September Girls, the Big Star song. They did Boys Don't Lie, the Shoe song, and a couple originals. That actual mini album didn't come out on CD because they actually bolstered it up with new material. So here is the original September Girls mini album, and they've got brand new Squire material, Circular Motion being the standout of the brand new songs, but they're still great. But yes, September Girls, the mini album is on CD with brand new Squire material. Guitar pop lovers unite and join together in a big hug. This is just wonderful. But you know what? You can always get Squire. The singles collection features tons of material that's not on any of those CDs, like No Time Tomorrow, which on the surface, it sounds like it's more of a John Lennon song, but actually, if you really listen to it, it's more of an homage to George Harrison's, Revolver period. But there's so many great songs. It's got Get Ready to Go. It's a Mod World, The Face of Youth Today, jam-packed full of great stuff. Now, that's it with the Squire CDs. You don't have to go out and buy a lot, but definitely buy everything that I've talked about. You can also buy called It's a Mod World, which features a bunch of tracks from that era from American and British mod bands, and that's a great collection there. Introduce you to the great mod scene of the early 80s. Anthony did go solo, and he's recorded a couple solo albums, which have been very difficult for even the CD Junkie to get. But I do have 2 CDs that he released under the band name Sugar Plum, which are great 90s Britpop releases, and you're definitely going to want to check those out if you love his singing and his songwriting, because he's absolutely great. Now, bass player John Bicknell actually has a band called Drums and Wires UK, and they have an album out called Ups, Downs, and Merry-Go-Rounds, and that's really great. If you like Squire, John writes and sings just a great collection of songs. There's actually an earlier version of this, and they recorded more songs and they added to it, and this is the one that you actually need to get. Now, Squire has reformed. Essentially what it is, it's Anthony Maynell on guitar and vocals, and John Bicknell, who was the bass player from the last couple of years of Squire, and drummer Ray Lawrence, who is John's drummer on this. So actually on this record, you're getting 2/3 of Squire. Anyway, that's it, but I've got a surprise for you. That's not all. I've created a medley of Squire tracks because I want you to hear them. I want you to be inspired to go out and get them. So sit back, relax. This is a medley of some of my favorite Squire tracks, and I hope you like them too.
Get ready to go. I told you so. I want you to know. Get ready to go. I told you so. Come on, baby, open the door. 'Cause if I can't get you, no one can. And I'm trying every trick in the book of love. 'Cause when I see you, then I'm feeling I'm in circular motion.
Well, that's it. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell for future notifications, and leave a comment below. And until the next time, remember me, I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.